Well, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Let's see, today there's a lot of things we need to talk about. Announcements and questions and answers and so forth. By the way, procedurally speaking, I encourage you to follow the schedule. That is to get up and walk a little bit to restore blood circulation in your legs, if possible. Unless you want to go for long sits, it's also a good idea. But in general, it's best to walk around a little bit after the sit to restore your balance. Okay? All right. Let's take care of some announcements first. And then we go into the questions and so forth. Okay. Before I forget, let's see. This is I've been thinking about this, and I don't know you're aware of that, but we went to Korea because one of my disciples invited us there. And yes, there's some noise here. Is that normal? Okay. And that's how we got there, established a way place in Korea. And then the COVID-19 came. So we decided to, in order to show our appreciation, to provide protection against the COVID in Korea as well, in addition, starting in last January. And so we've been doing that until recently with the coming of the Delta variant. We continue the protection. Actually, we increase the protection. And that's why in Japan or Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, so forth, they're going wild right now, whereas Korea, it's very, very manageable. Around 2,000 new infections versus 10,000, 20,000 in the US here. Since we ended our meddling, Los Angeles alone is like doing 30, 40,000 new infections. Something like that. I don't keep track anymore. I'm just too busy. So we've been doing that to show our appreciation, our gratitude, because we I think our disciples really like Korea, the Korean branches. So we can't wait to be able to have a Dharma assembly for all of you in Asia who wish to join us for Chan Chi or something. You can come and join us at Jewel Mountain Temple. In fact, today we also signed a lease for a place near Seoul, Bundang. Okay, so we're expanding there. So anyway, we've been doing we've been very busy. So unfortunately, it's time for us to end the meddling, the protection in Korea. We're very busy, we're getting busier and busier. In order for us to maintain the current infection rate, 3 of my disciples have to do it every day. Okay, it's a lot of work for us. So I plan to end the intervention next month. And that's as long as we can prolong it. And after that, don't be surprised if the infection rate will jump up drastically, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Okay, brace yourself for it. There's a lot more suffering going on. Okay. And by the way, we're not supposed to meddle like this. That's not what we do. We see so much suffering and we couldn't help it. We need to help a little bit. But it's time to end it. Now, what does it have to do with you? You have over another month to work harder. You practice meditation and practice Chan vigorously like this, you shouldn't have any problems, okay? And if you do, we can easily help you. It's not a big deal at all. The last several months, we've been helping a lot of people recover from COVID, okay? Some were in the intensive care units for quite a while, and they all recovered. So anyway, but for you personally, I think you step it up and meditate, then you should be able to not be harmed by this COVID-19 Delta variant. You won't, okay? And if you are worried, we can help as well. So it's not a concern at all. In fact, again, as I talked about last weekend, the fact that you struggle and you generate heat, and because of your leg discomfort, your leg pains, actually it generates a lot of yang qi, and therefore it will neutralize the virus very quickly. So as soon as you feel like you have some kind of flu symptoms, meditate and meditate and meditate until your body is very hot, then you'll be out of trouble, okay? You recover. So that's about it, okay? Don't worry. In fact, in terms of pain, leg pains and discomfort, I keep forgetting to tell Master Xianjie here, who will be starting English class as well, Chan class as well, on Fridays at 8 p.m. our Pacific Standard Time. You know, your student in Spain who still have a lot of pain after a long time, it's a very good sign because his body is very sick. That's why. And that's a very, very good sign. If he keeps on sitting, that he's going to get healthier and healthier and healthier. So don't be alarmed. It's actually very good. It's blessings in disguise. Okay? So anyway, so that's a second announcement. Master Xianjie here. Do we have is he on? Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, Xianjie. Okay. It looks like, yeah, right there. Yeah, there you go. Our white hope. He'll be teaching the Chan class in English on Fridays as well, 8 p.m. Standard Time, something like that. So you sit with him for 8 to 9, and then he'll speak to you for 20 minutes. Okay, all right. We encourage you to participate in these things. We have a lot of very competent teachers. I'm doing this to help you as well. I assure you, as my disciples, we have several very competent. You sit with them. It's very beneficial for you, bar none. Okay, so take advantage of it because we're doing this to help you improve more quickly. Okay, and if they don't know how to answer you, don't know how to help you, I'm always available to them for counseling and for more information. So, but the mere fact that the first part of the class is to sit with these people who are far better than you, and that's always beneficial for you. So to sit alone, when you sit with them, actually for most of you, it's just as good as to sit with me, okay? Because I'm a little bit better than they, but you won't see the difference. Okay, so that's why. It's good to sit with them. And then the second part with these training classes are instructions or Dharma talks, which are part of the Weiyang training. That's also very important. And you need to have the proper instructions to recalibrate yourself, okay, so that you continue to go in the right directions and overcome your obstructions. For example, his student has been sitting for hours, and he says, how come I sit like per your instructions, and for 4 or 5 hours my pain never stopped? And I looked into it and I said, oh, this man is very sick, and therefore either it's pain in the legs or pain in your wallet or pain in your body being sicker and sicker and sicker until it breaks down. Okay, so it's a very, very good thing. All right. Also, on Sundays is the Ulaanbaatar celebration. It's a very important practice that we encourage you, especially for Asians, to plant blessings on behalf of your ancestors. Whatever things you donate to temples in your area, wherever you want to donate, churches, temples, and so forth, donate it on behalf of your ancestors, and the blessings will go to them. Okay, so it's a very, very good thing, especially for us Asians, real Asians. That's an act of filial piety. So that's a very, very important Asian tradition that I hope that you will preserve and teach to your children. It's superior Asian tradition in my mind. Okay, so we also, of course, have our Ulaanbaatar celebration as well on Sunday here in the U.S. So that's a big deal for us as well. All right. Anything else in terms of announcements I missed? No? Announcements or questions, sir? Quick question later. Okay, we go into questions now. Okay? Questions now. We have 2 outstanding questions, and then we have number 7. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Old questions. Guo xia.
Guo xia.
Guo xia. So it's not a war. It's not us. It's not like my generation war. Not the same Guo.
Yes, Guo xia has 2 questions from last week. The first one is, in the morning, I play the Master's Great Compassion mantra repeatedly in the house. And in the evening, I play Master YongHua's Shurangama mantra repeatedly in the house. When I meditate, I silently recite the Medicine Master mantra. Is there any problems with this practice? That's number 1.
Okay. Do you have any problems? Or is there anything? Why is he asking? Is he concerned about something, or what? Is there some problems that are manifested, or what?
Guo xia is online. Guo xia can answer us.
Can he answer? Okay. Does he get it? Do you hear it? What is it? If he has no problems, then continue.
我没有问题，我只是说这样可不可以？
Yeah,
I
in
don't
general,
have problems.
yes, in general, if you do those things and you have no problems, it's okay. Those are wonderful, wonderful mantras that you can use. In particular, you play it in your house. It's actually is very helpful for you. Very helpful, very smart to play Master Xinhua's mantras and so forth, because actually it will bring a lot of positive energy into the house, actually can chase away the negative energy. Okay, so it's a good thing. In fact, it will actually help provide protection for the house, for the property in general. Okay, so it's a good thing. Question number 2.
I have a second question. Question number 2. What's the difference between reciting the Medicine Master Buddha's name versus reciting the Medicine Master mantra?
It's different practices. They both provide great benefits, but they're different in terms of the practice itself. One is a tantric practice, the other is more like a Pure Land practice, if you will. Okay, so they're both recitation practices, but they're different. For example, if when you recite mantras, Master YongHua, my late Chinese teacher, recommends that you don't eat meat, you are vegetarian, and abstain from the 5 Panchen plants. So mantras themselves are more demanding than non-mantras practices. So and that's why even if you like the Tibetans, they eat meat and so forth, which is not recommended. If you eat meat and eat onion and garlic, your mantras will actually not be as effective at all. So that's why it's not a good idea to eat meat and eat the 5 Panchen plants when you're practicing mantras. It's a big no-no, actually. All right, and in particular, when you eat the 5 Panchen plants, you draw a lot of the yin beings towards you. They like the smell of those things. Okay, so it's not a good idea at all. So tantras themselves, the tantra practices are more demanding than reciting the Medicine Master Buddha's name, for example. Okay, where you get similar benefits and you don't have the same kind of constraints, the same kind of obstructions, if you will. Okay, that's the general answer, number 1. Also, number 2 is that it depends on how and on the conditions. For example, when you don't have a lot of time and you are under a lot of constant interruption, it's easier for you to recite Medicine Master Buddha's name than reciting a mantra. That particular Medicine Master mantra is longer, so it takes more concentration. Okay. Whereas, for example, you can talk to someone and recite Medicine Master Buddha at the same time, and that's possible. You see, so there's different practices that you can engage in. I use both. I use the mantras when I can. When I need more effect, more power, I use a mantra. And otherwise, I would use Medicine Master Buddha's name in general, as a general rule of thumb. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, number 7. Go ahead.
Thank you, Master. We were talking about the Ulaanbaatar this coming Sundays. What times it starts, the schedules?
Well, on Sundays, it's our Pure Land practice, so we start at 8, as usual.
Okay, and I have one more question. Well, as you mentioned about Ulaanbaatar is praying for our ancestors. Can I also pray for friends or relatives or anybody just recently passed away or just in the past?
Friends and relatives are not considered, well, depends on what kind of relatives. Which relatives are we talking about? Friends, no, it's not for Ulaanbaatar, but Ulaanbaatar also works for relatives, 6 relatives.
Okay, excuse me. So it's in family members only. That means it's in the family's members only? Family?
Yeah,
Okay,
relatives,
Thank you.
ancestors.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Yes, 5 fingers.
Master, you mentioned that we should walk after the 1 hour sit, but some people can sit for longer than 1 hour. Do you still recommend them to get up and walk when they want to continue to sit for 2 hours?
No, they don't have to get up. Actually, it's better they don't get up in those cases. Okay, it's better to sit longer and longer when possible. But it's nothing wrong with getting up and exercise. Especially even at home, you should get up and walk and move your feet and shake your arms or something. Okay, it's a good thing to do. Don't ignore the physical aspects of the practice because it's more beneficial for the majority of you. Although, as I said, if you prefer to sit longer, it's a good thing too. It's equally good. Okay, but after the long sits, make sure you walk afterwards. Okay, after you stand up, or you finish your long sits, you unbuckle your legs, uncross your legs, get up and walk. Okay, don't ignore that. That's my mistake. I don't do enough of that, and it's unbalanced. All right. Anything else? Oh, today's going to be a short session. It'll be 20 minutes only. This is so cool. Okay. Hey, folks, I really have nothing to teach you. Unless you have a problem, there's nothing to talk about. Yes? Yes. By number 2. 6.
Okay. Regarding this is regarding Ulaanbaatar. As you probably know, the Asians, they do on July 14 and they use meat. Now the question comes up, can you use meat to offer to Triple Jewel?
Use what? Meat to offer a Triple Jewel?
The Taoist version, you know.
The Taoist version, but this is a Buddhist temple. Okay, here's a suggestion. If you want to offer meat to your ancestors, I propose it should be your own meat. See, you object to it already. Imagine you think the dog, I mean not the dog, the cow is not going to object. He says, "Can I use your meat to offer to my ancestors?" You think the cow says, "Oh, no problem. Cut me. Take it." Okay? And so what you folks don't realize is that your ancestors, if they need to eat at all, they really don't care whether it's Wagyu beef or lobster at all. They just want something to fill their stomach when they're that hungry. And your ancestors become ghosts and so forth. They need to eat, so they're very hungry. So anything would work for them. Okay, pizza, bagels, noodles. Okay, including your own meat. Yes. 2 questions online. Go ahead. How come I don't? Yeah. Raise your hand. Oh yeah. That's okay. Plato Shi. Okay, go ahead. Plato Shi.
师父你好，我的问题是，我一盘腿打坐的时候，我的头呢就像有
When I sit, I feel as if my head has a lid. My head is covered by a lid. I cannot concentrate. Master, my question is, do you have any good method to help me solve this problem?
When does it happen? How long after the sit before that happens?
它并不是总是每次都有。
It does not happen every time when I sit, but it happens quite frequently.
So when you say you have a lid over your head, meaning the head is foggy, is there any pain? Describe, give me
对，
more
头子上
details.
上面有盖子在上面。
As if my head is covered by a lid.
It probably makes sense to you in China, but in the U.S., excuse me,
你这样说也对你来说是有，你这样
doesn't quite. I can't quite
我
imagine
并
it.
不能够完全想象出来你遇到的这种特别的情形。
Yeah, I promise I will watch more Chinese movies, but in the U.S., we don't ever have a case where people have a lid, put a lid on their head. So that's why I struggle with the concept. I'm trying to learn. See the chance for us to learn. Why the Chinese use lids on their heads? What does it mean, the lid on the
就
head?
是头的上边它胀胀的，有一
I
点。
feel on the top of my head, it's bloated and it's a numb feeling, numb.
Ah, that's different. In the US, we don't call it a lid. We call it, I feel numb. Okay? All right. And how often does it happen? Is it happens immediately after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes?
就以今天为例，我
Take
坐上
today as an example. I didn't sit for long, and then I have this kind of feeling, and it lasted towards the end.
Ah,
Then it gradually improved. At this moment, when I talk to you, I still have the same kind of feeling of numb on the top
numbness.
of my head.
Ah,
Yeah, numbness.
okay, very good. Anyone has any ideas on why it is? Let me think. Let me think. Huh? No? No one? How are you going to teach people? You can't answer this question. I take it back. I don't have many good instructors at all. They can't even answer a question like this. Huh? How do you answer? Master Xianjie. 8. Okay.
Well, typically, Master has told us that all kinds of states that we can experience are normal and not to be worried about them. They will naturally resolve themselves.
Yeah.
But there may be some kind of problems. His chi is not flowing correctly.
Yeah.
But that if he sits longer, as his chi improves and becomes stronger, it will clear through, and he should see that eventually go away.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Very good. So you qualified again. Okay. So the answer is is there some more answers here? Number 7? No? Okay. You want to say hello to your husband? it's a good state. Here's what happens. When you sit, and is there a Taoist here today, right? I explained you the Taoist way. Okay, Taoist explanation. Yeah. When you sit, here's what happens. When you sit, your chi builds up in your navel area, okay, right here. It builds up here. And look at here as the battery for your EV, for your electric vehicles. Okay, so the chi builds up here. When you meditate, it builds up here. So the chi builds up here, and then it travels up. Okay, it travels up. The first thing it does is that it travels up. I simplify it for you. First thing it does is it travels up your column. Okay, the Taoists call it. I forgot the name. My Taoist teacher, that guy. Heng Chang or something, he explained it to us. But you can see it yourself. Most of you will see that. I think Da Zhou Tian or Xiao Chou Tian, something like that. I don't remember. Okay, I don't take those names seriously. But so you imagine your body has centrally there's a column. Okay, along your, similar to your spine, okay? And so the chi will rise, okay, on that column, up and up. So what it does is that when you meditate, okay, you will discover some problems in your stomach area. Okay, you have pain there, or you have gas, or you have burping. That shows that indicates that you have some problems, so stomach issues that's being resolved. And once those are resolved, for example, for most of us who do our Chan Qi, after we sit for a while, several hours, we start gurgling. Our stomach starts making noises, okay, like gurgling sound. Like when you brush your teeth, you gargle. You gargle. It's a similar kind of sound down in your stomach. So in general, you will fix your stomach issues. Once they're fixed, they move up. You move up. And then now you go to the lungs area, for example, and you fix your lung issues. So those of you who are smokers, you find that you have some problems here. Especially, for example, if you have you contracted the COVID-19, okay, which attacks your throat, makes scabs in your throat, and also attacks your lungs. So that's why you contract, you feel like you got the COVID-19, you sit, you meditate, and you sit longer and longer and longer, okay? And it will clear up the lungs area, okay? That's how you protect yourself when you're invaded by the virus, by the COVID-19 virus, okay? And then once it clears this area, the lungs area goes up to your throat and attacks your throat. This is where the flu viruses make the camps, this general area in your throat, okay? For me, I think it's the left or right. I don't remember. I need to get the flu again, okay? But so it makes camps here. As soon as the flu virus invades your body, it makes camps here in your throat area. I think mine is on the left because I'm right-handed, something like that. So you go up here and you attack the flu virus camps in the throat area here. So that's why when you have a flu thing, when you feel you contracted the flu, you sit because actually it's fixing the problem. You're fixing your own problems. You don't need any medication. It's for people who don't meditate. It's okay to take medication. But for you, Chan students, you should be able to clear it yourself. So do it quickly. As soon as you feel you down, okay, you have the flu virus, sit, meditate, and you clear the problems yourself. Clear the cancer. And you go up here, and I have sinuses, okay? I have serious problems. This is going to kill me eventually, okay? I can't break through. They're here to kill me. So I come up here, and for me, when I meditate, I come up here for after a long, long time, this is where it hurts, okay? Hurts tremendously. And nothing I could figure out how to fix it. And then most of you don't have that problem. Then and in your case, in YongHua case, he has a numbness in the head. That means the head has some issues there. And that's why he feels numb. He feels like there's a lid, a Chinese lid on his head. Okay? So it's a good thing. That means that it shows that he has some issues up in the head. And he keep on sitting, so eventually we clear it. And it's very simple. Sit longer until it clears. Same thing. I have a lady here who is under severe attack from depression, has severe depression and manic as well. This lady has a lot of problems. I don't know why. How she made it this far. It's incomprehensible. But so she has severe, she's bipolar, severe bipolar. So we brought her here, asked her to come here, drop everything, come here, and learn how to deal with it. And so after 3 months here, she's on her way back to her beloved husband, I heard. Yeah, very good. You're learning French way young. Very good. Yeah, excellent. So you should be learning that the lesson you learn here is that there's help for that. Okay, you need help. Number one, if they can overwhelm you, but they cannot overwhelm us. So there's always help available. And that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is that you sit longer, okay? Instead of taking it out on your husband and your family, you sit, okay? You sit, you cross your legs, and eventually you will be able to stabilize yourself, okay? The more severe the attack, the longer you have to sit, okay? Stop being a victim, folks. These depression, these manic things, once you reach a certain level, her level is pretty good. That's why right now she can handle it. She can, but don't think it's the end of it, because more will come, a lot stronger will come. Okay, and it will overwhelm you, but it's a good thing. All right, so you sit longer. Okay, question number 2 from JMT. Korean channel.
네, 회사에서 이제 나이 드신 분들이 많이 몸이 아파오시고 건강한 사람들이 별로 없는 걸 많이 보는데 그게 다 그 업장이 나오는 겁니까?
Her question is, in the company she works for, she sees lots of people getting older and getting sick. So it's very rare to find somebody that's not sick around her at the job place. Is this karmic obstruction?
Sick with what?
In general, they're not healthy. They're sick. They are ill. They're not healthy. They're getting older and get all kinds of illness. In general, she's talking in general at the job place around her. Is this karmic obstructions?
No, it's called life. Life, the Buddha teaches, it's the 4 things in life. The 4 things in life that cannot be changed. You're born, And then what? What else you do?
Get older?
You age. You don't get older. You mature. I like to think. So you age, okay, gracefully, hopefully, and you get sick, and you croak. I mean, you die. Okay, so that's normal. Okay, now, if a lot of these people are sick in her workplace, that's because they're not taking care of the good health. This is typically, that's what happens to professionals. I have a hard time telling people that they need to take care of their health. If you don't take care of your health, who will? That's why we advise that you meditate an hour every day. That's maintenance right there. That's health maintenance. Health meaning that both physical and mental and spiritual. You cannot ignore any of them. If you ignore physical, you will get weaker. You lose your stamina. If you ignore mental, then you become mentally limited. Okay, and if you ignore spiritual, you will never be happy. This is what the education system lacks in providing you everywhere in the world, in humanity, in human world, human realm. We never taught how to be happy. And happiness is in spirituality. The basis of happiness is spirituality. Okay, the spirituality is actually the foundation for Chan, you will. Okay, so in the case here that people in the office are sick a lot, then be careful. When you're around sick people like that, it will drain your energy. Okay. And so you definitely need to meditate more in order to protect yourself. And each individual is different. Yes, it's a karmic obstructions, also just a natural aging, natural getting sick, natural retribution as well. So it's all that. It's very difficult to distinguish one from the other, okay? And some people say, oh, I see a ghost behind that, yeah, it's a part of the picture. Only the Buddha can see in great details, but we can't. So I don't know. Each case is different, I guess. Okay, but yes, in general, yes, they have a lot of karmic issues there. We believe in Buddhism that you're sick because it's a karmic retribution. You're sick now you are enduring the consequences of your past karmas. Okay, so. That's just life. Yes, and the next question.
Hello, Master. I received a lot of questions from the lay people here in Korea after you mentioned about the transmission of the mantra practice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the common question was, should they stop reciting the mantra until they get the transmission?
No, I apologize to all of you. I didn't mean to cause alarm and worries in all of you. What I meant by that are, because after that, a lot of people approach me and say, I want transmission of mantra. I said, go somewhere else. Go to the next temple. No, I'm kidding. I realized what I meant was that there in Mahayana, only in Mahayana, that we have very powerful mantras in the Shrangama mantra and the Great Compassion mantra. Okay, I mean, in particular, the Shrangama mantra, when you practice Shrangama mantra, you definitely want transmission, okay, because you need protection. When you practice mantra, when we transmit mantras to you, we provide protection for you in order for you to practice. Okay, without protection, there's no way for you to practice. I'll give you an example. Yeah. I have I know this disciple of my late Chinese teacher, Master YongHua, who received transmission. He's a monk, so he received transmission to practice the hands and eyes. Okay, actually, a couple of them they received transmission to practice hands and eyes, and when we received transmission to practice hands and eyes from my late Chinese teacher, we told that we are not supposed to transmit it. We cannot transmit it. Why not? It's because we don't have enough virtues to transmit it to the next person. So the transmission, that's very clear. I want you to hear, listen to it very carefully. We do not have the virtue to transmit it to you. Because what happens during transmission is that we need to send you Dharma protectors in order for you, the practitioner, gets protection when you practice the mantras. Okay? Without that protection, you will not be able to successfully practice it. You will not be able to take full advantage of it. Why not? Because the demons and the ghosts will come and harass you and distract you so that you cannot make progress, because these mantras are very, very powerful. They're like weapons. So when we practice them, we actually are creating these spiritual weapons that we can use upon the ghosts and the demons. And because of that, the demons, especially the demons, are very worried about it, and they constantly are watching you. If you practice the mantras, they constantly are watching you. That's why you need protection, period. So in order for us to transmit it to you, the process is basically providing you with protection. So it has to come from someone who sent the protection to you. It's not a casual thing. So these two guys, these two monks, they left the association, they went out there, and they needed support. So they started telling people they are the disciples of my Master YongHua, my Chinese teacher, and then they receive transmission, and they transmit the hands and eyes to their disciples. That's an illegal transmission, meaning that you may receive it, okay, but you get no protection whatsoever. Zilch, zero protection, okay? So it's basically no transmission at all. But these two monks, they told me, they related to us, that when they practice the hands and eyes themselves, actually these weapons actually are turned against them. Think about it. They are given admonition, hey, you better stop practicing yourself. So actually these people, because they violate these prohibitions, they themselves will not be able to practice the hands and eyes. Okay, hands and eyes, if you will, it's just like a treasure trove. You practice them, you become enlightened in a big way, and that's why it's a tremendous gift, and that you don't want to abuse. And so these people, basically, they're done. There and their disciples have no chance at all. So that's why in the Shrangama mantra in particular, you need transmission. Definitely, we need to protect you. Okay, and the Great Compassion mantra, you don't have protection, it's okay. But when you practice the hands and eyes, you definitely need protection. So that's why, in general, it's better for you to receive transmission for the Great Compassion mantra and the hands and eyes, and the Shrangama mantra as well. So those are required for you to practice. The smaller mantras, they don't do a lot of harm to the ghosts and spirits, so they can ignore you. So it's not a big deal. Okay? So I apologize for creating a lot of issues with you. It's old age, but a lot of people came to us and asked for transmission, and we're glad to give you. I showed my disciples how to do it, okay, so that you can receive transmission for those 2 big mantras, and that's highly recommended. All right? Yes, number 7.
질문이 있습니다. 오래 앉으라고 하셨는데 오래 앉고 나서 어떻게 뭐 관리를 해야 되는지 주의해야 될 점이 있는지를 여쭙고 싶습니다. 제 질문의 포인트는 예를 들면 오래 앉고 나서 에너지가 많이 쌓이고 몸에 열이 많이 나는 걸 느껴지는데 그런 것들을 잘 유지하고 보호하고 해서 특별히 뭐 음식을 적게 먹어야 된다든지 다른 사람들하고 하고 접촉을 최소화한다든지 말을 적게 한다든지 그런 식으로 좀 주의해야 될 점이 있는지 여쭙고 싶습니다.
It's so soothing, I feel like dozing off.
Oh.
She changed so much in 3 months. I wish, I knew. Go ahead.
She feels after you encourage everyone to sit longer and longer. After a long sit, she can sense that the accumulated energy and heat is generated. And is there anything I need to do? For example, eat less, take a walk or bow, in order to protect this energy that's accumulated from long sit? Should I talk less with people or avoid meeting people? Is there anything that in particular you need to do?
Bottle it and sell it.
You sell it?
Yeah, bottle it. Then sell it.
병에 담아서 팔래요.
It's a good thing. Let it happen naturally. Don't worry so much, If I teach you what to do with it, then I'm encouraging you to be attached to it. It's just a good thing. It's just like all good things. Enjoy them, and then don't be attached. Okay? It's not a big deal because you can generate that stuff again. So what's a big deal? No translation? We lost translation?
Translation is ongoing, real time, on a different channel.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so the translation is done?
It's done, but then I'm doing the English, Korean to English.
Korean to English. Okay.
I'm only doing the Korean to English.
Okay. I'm getting old. Yes, there's another hand there, a yellow hand in Korean channel. Jewel Mountain. Yeah, this is a good system. You should have it on the left there, so that top left there, so that I can see. Go ahead.
네, 마스터가 만트라는 고기랑 오신채를 먹지 않고 하는 게 좋다고 하셨는데 그게 대비주랑 42수완도 해당이 되는 건지 그리고 만약 오신채랑 고기를 먹는 제가자들이 수행할 때는 그런 만트라보다는 염불이 더 적합한 건지 그게 궁금합니다.
So, Master, you mentioned that eating no meat being vegetarian without the 5 plants is much more beneficial for your mantra practice? Does it apply to the 42 hands and eyes and great compassion mantra? For a layperson like her that eats meat and the 5 plant, is it better if they just recite the Buddha's name and not do the mantra?
No, don't do that. We gave you a treasure in the 42 hands and eyes. Even if you eat meat and eat the 5 Panchen plants, practice. It's don't, you know, it's a little bit of a great thing. It's still wonderful. But if you're ambitious and you want even more, then you want to stop eating meat and the 5 Panchen plants. However, the benefits you get from practicing the hands and eyes are just inconceivable. Why would you stop? Okay? It's like, you give me $1 billion. Anyone? And on the condition that I need to stop eating meat and the 5 Panchen plants. I say, can I still continue to eat meat and the 5 Panchen plants? I get only 10% of $1 billion. See, I would continue. I would rather get 10% than 0. Okay, so don't worry. If possible, try to stop eating meat and the 5 Panchen plants. So you practice the hands and eyes. But I tell you this, once you get better and better at it, naturally you will not like eating meat anymore. Naturally, you will find that the 5 Panchen plants are not appealing to you anymore. It's a natural progression. Don't worry. So short answer, continue. Don't worry. Okay, when we give you that treasure there, okay, take advantage of it. Okay, because not only is it beneficial for you right now, this lifetime, but in the future you'll be able to greatly benefit from it again, because you like a Louis Vuitton user already, so that in the future it's natural for you to buy Chanel and Louis Vuitton because that's the only way that you'll be happy with it. See, I know girls understand my language. Okay, yes, number 7.
42수환에 대해서 질문이 있습니다. 저희 가족이 매우 바빠서 42수화선을 하루에 2번밖에 하지 못하는데 상대적으로 제가 시간이 조금 그러니까 그 잘 가는 가족에 비해서 제가 좀 시간적인 여유가 상대적으로 있는 편인데 다른 가족을 위해서 제가 대신 42수환을 해줘도 되는지 여쭙고 싶습니다.
Jumi's question. So, her and her family practice the 42 hands and eyes, don't have a lot of time, so only her family can only do twice a day. 주미 씨 그냥 남편이라고 해도 되는 건가요? 이해가 쉽게 영화 스님이?
네, 남편입니다.
Let's make it more clear. Her husband can do only twice a day, and she has relatively more free time. Can she do more 40 hands and eyes on behalf of him?
On his behalf?
On his behalf.
Yeah. Why not? He has to go make money to pay for her Louis Vuitton and Chanel things, so she should make blessings on his behalf. is reasonable to me. Okay? Yes. The short answer is yes.
이 질문을 드리는 이유는 예전에 보산사 현안 스님께서 다른 사람을 위해서 42수환을 염두에 두고 하는 거는 좀 주의가 필요하고 허락이 필요하다고 해서 제가 질문을 드린 것입니다.
The reason why I asked this question is because at Joel Mountain Temple, XA instructed me not to recite the 4029s on behalf of another person, and this needs a permission from the master, and this needs a careful practice to do the 4029s on behalf of somebody else.
Right. No, what we mean by that is that you use a practice and you give the blessings to your husband, but you cannot practice on his behalf. There are two parts. When you practice, or when you meditate, okay, whether you do the mantras or you sit there and meditate, you're generating a lot of blessings. Those blessings, you can use them to give them to anyone at all. So that's what I meant. But you can't really practice on behalf of someone else because it doesn't work like that. If that's possible, then the Buddha can practice. I would petition the Buddha to practice for me, and I become a Buddha so much quicker. Okay? So in Buddhism, it doesn't work like that. We all have to work for ourselves. Okay? No, you can't. You can't really do it on his behalf. No more than the Buddha can do it on my behalf. Yes, follow-up question.
그러면 제가 수행을 열심히 하고 제가 수행을 해서 조금이라도 생긴 공덕이나 복력이 있다면 그거를 남편에게 회양하겠습니다. 그리고 3개월 동안 저를 미국에 보내줘서 수행하게 해주신 저희 남편에게 감사의 말씀을 전하고 싶습니다.
Emotional. She says she would do the transference of the blessings and meriting virtue, even though it's just little, from her practice for his husband. And the fact that her husband sent her there to America to practice for 3 months, she's very grateful to him. Sincerely. Oh, so emotional.
She finally speaking up the French Weiyang at Wei Mountain Temple. Very good. Okay. Finally, she's got it. Okay, be nicer to him. Yeah, you.
Master.
With more?
Yeah. Thank you, Master. Yes, finally. Thank you, Master. Louis Vuitton more better. Louis Vuitton don't like. Yves Saint Laurent like.
뭐라고요? 이해 안 가요. 한국말로 해봐요.
It sounds like English, but I don't get it.
네, 감사합니다, 마스터. 그리고 저는 루이 비통을 안 좋아하고 입생로랑을 좋아합니다. 참고하세요, 남편.
She doesn't like Louis Vuitton. She likes another brand. I have no idea what it is.
Louis Vuitton.
No, she doesn't like that one. She likes the other one. And
the Versace. No, the
Which
Chanel. Chanel is too old.
She said something else. I don't know the brand. Anyway, she's letting the husband.
Yves Saint Laurent.
What?
Yves
Saint Laurent.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Yes.
Is too young. Yeah. No. You want Chanel. If I were your husband, I'd give you Chanel. I would give you Versace. Okay? Don't let him buy you Yves Saint Laurent. said, tell him you can buy Yves Saint Laurent for your concubine. But for me, I want, Versace. Yeah. Yes, Estrada. Yes, number 6.
Similar question to you.
Similar question?
But worse, in my case, me talking about, I only have enough blessing to do one thing, either the morning ceremony, the Great Compassion, or the 42 hands and eyes. Which one do I do, Master?
All of the above.
I can only do one. All my blessing goes, Master.
You still have to do faster, that's all.
There's no answer, Master.
It's just like, listen, folks, this is a lesson for all of you. Okay? You think I'm joking, but I'm very, very serious. Okay? It's because it aches me when I see how serious the Koreans are. It's only, have you noticed, only now, after a month, 3 times that the Koreans are beginning to smile when I speak Dharma. Before, it's a whole hour. Okay. They're so serious. But anyway, what was the question again? Never mind. Okay. Chan is about pushing yourself. You should not settle for what you can do. That's not a spirit of Chan. Chan is you push yourself. You remember the principle, sit longer, means push yourself a little bit more, and more, and more. So instead of saying, I can only, like her husband here, I don't have time to practice. I only have 10 minutes. Okay, I practice. I can do 1. I can do 2, whatever. No, you set a goal. You said, I'm going to do 3. I want to do 4 in 10 minutes. And eventually, you get faster and faster and faster. You know that? These recitation things, which is a form of Chan meditation as well, the more you do it, you need to invest the time. The more you do it, the quicker you'll be naturally, the faster you become. Okay, so you don't just. The spirit of Chan is that I can do more. I can be better than this, and you become that way. And that's Chan right there. Chan is never allow yourself to limit yourself. Chan's mind is limitless. Does it make sense? Okay, and this is a very important lesson. Let me tell you about this story here that I read 15 years ago that I liked it, but I couldn't understand it until today, until recently, until like a few weeks ago. Would you like to hear it, or time is up? No? You want to hear it? Okay, if the Koreans want to hear it, they have to smile, because I need to see that they're excited. Otherwise, it's... Okay, very good. Chung-in is smiling more. This is scary. Chung-in Sunim, he never smiles. Okay. I read this a long time ago, as I said, 15 years ago, because when I started teaching Chan, because my master told me to teach. He said, you should teach. It's so Chan-like, This is a Chan master, my Chan master, Chan teacher telling me, as I was meditating, he says, you should teach. I said, no way. It's my very first response. No way. Anyway, that's the nature of my relationship to my master. Anyway, so I had to look for materials to teach, because unlike his students, unlike the Korean Sunims, unlike the Vietnamese, the Chinese, they have a teacher that they can watch, observe for 10 years how to do it, okay? My master taught me for a few minutes and then kicked me out and says, goodbye, okay? I'm done with you. So I had to figure out, it's like I start with a blank page. I don't know how to teach. I didn't know how to teach. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know what I was expected of me. He says, you should teach. Wonderful. It's so Chan-like. You should teach. That's why my answer is, no way. You see how the Chan sparring? You should teach? No way. No, the Koreans still don't appreciate the Chan sparring. Okay, the Chinese understand that. We spar, okay? The Chan people, the Chan master spars. They say something, the other person, there's one upsmanship and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay, that's called Chan sparring. So anyway, I had to look for materials to teach Chan. So I read this thing about 101 stories about Zen. Because that's the only thing in English I could find. Okay, I had to teach English people like Master Xianjie. And so one of the stories is about this sumo wrestler. This sumo wrestler, this young sumo wrestler, he's been in the profession for 10 years and he's not getting promoted. Sumo wrestlers, in case you don't know, they don't make a lot of money until they win. Okay? That's the nature of sports. In competition, you have to win until you hit a certain level where you start making money. Okay, if you get to Yokozuna, okay, then you make $100,000 a year and more with the commercial endorsements. If you're low level, you barely scraping by. It's very, very tough business. So this young sumo wrestler here has been losing, and to the point where he says, I better find something to turn the situation around. And so he went around, looked for teachers, went to consult with the teachers, and nothing worked. Until he went to this Zen temple, okay? Again, folks, between us, okay? There's a difference between Chan and Zen in my mind, okay? If this is Zen, Chan is way up there. Okay, it's not the same at all. The way the Zen is taught, it's not Chan. Anyway, but they have these beautiful stories I loved, and so this sumo wrestler went to a Zen temple to learn meditation. He says, I tried everything else. Let me try spiritual. Okay. So he learned meditation, he wanted to learn Zen, okay? And being a Zen temple, they don't teach you how to sit in full lotus. Have you ever seen a sumo wrestler? Their legs as big as my trunk. So they cannot sit in full lotus, okay? Unlike you. I'm so happy to see so many of you sit in full lotus. It's so beautiful. I glance at you as you sit. It's nothing more adorned when you sit than in that full lotus posture. Your back is straight. And by the way, don't move. All of you. You move too much. Don't move. When you sit in full lotus, sit like a bell. Don't move. Okay? At first, if it's not natural, okay, fight. Okay? Keep your body straight until your muscles develop. You naturally get stronger, and your body will sit like a bell. Okay? And that's the fundamentals of Chan, is that you don't move. Okay? For an hour, can you fight and fight and fight so that you don't move? Is that clear? That's fundamentals. That's part of your foundation. So this sumo wrestler here went to the Zen temple to meditate. And he said, he confessed to the Zen master, he said, Master, I really need something. Otherwise, I will have to give up my sumo career because I have to start winning. The Zen master said, well, I don't know how to help you. I tell you what. I want you to sit by the window there, okay? And it's a Zen temple facing the ocean. So the sumo wrestler was told to sit looking at the ocean, okay? So it's a beautiful, beautiful Zen temple where it's overlooking a cliff so that he can see how the ocean, how the waves keep on coming and coming to shore. Anyone saw what's his this Japanese famous wave thing? Soju, you don't do Japanese, huh? Yeah, that famous painting. Yeah, Fuji Mountain, the series of painting by that great Japanese master. Huh? What's his name? Hokukai? Oh, sorry, no Japanese, because I keep on criticizing Zen. They get offended at me. Anyway, I can't please them all. So anyway, he would sit there and meditate. And, of course, he's a sumo wrestler. He cannot sit still. So he opened his eyes. And what does he see? Sees these waves coming and coming to shore. The wave after wave after wave. And so the master says, I want you to contemplate the waves. So the young sumo wrestler sat there and looked at the waves and kept on looking at the waves. And he did not sleep. Okay? He stood up, obeyed the Zen master's instruction, and watched the waves. Okay? Morning light came, and he says, something happened. He stood up, he says, he bowed to the Zen master and went back to his stables, and he started wrestling again. He started winning, winning bow after bow after bow, and eventually he became a yokozuna. Okay? And and that's end of the story. And when I read the story, I said, what does it mean? What's the meaning of that? Why the change? I'm asking you now. Why do you think he changed? What changed? What's the change factor? Catholic. Daniel.
I think he was able to concentrate.
Able to concentrate.
And then listen to
listen to the old Zen monk.
Yeah, that one. And so he was able to follow instructions, watch the waves.
Do you listen to my instructions?
Not yours.
That's yours. It's so insulting. Yes, number 5.
Yes, Master. He became a big wave.
He became a big wave. So Korean. Anyone else? Huh? What happened? That's it? Of all you bright people, smart people, successful people, Sinan, what? Along the same line, that is, he never believed in himself. Okay? He says, I'm a loser. So, he says, I can do so much. So when the Zen monk taught him to watch the waves, what he learned is the waves are what? Endless. They keep on coming at you, and coming at you, and coming at you non-stop. And that's what he discovered. He says, when I wrestle, I must do the same exact thing, coming at my opponent endlessly. Okay? I have endless energy. I make endless efforts. That's how he began to win, because opponent after opponent, he came up with more and more ways to beat them, to overcome them. You limit yourself. No one else does. It's you who says, I can do so much. I can't do this. Instead, you should be like that Japanese sumo wrestler. Okay? I can do it. I can improve. I can be better. Yes? That's today's lesson. That's Chan right there. Chan is limitless. Do not limit yourself. Okay? Part of the exercise too for my students is that when we met with Korea is that I taught those 3 disciples that they can do it themselves. They thought they couldn't do it, but they can make a difference because your mind is limitless. Don't limit yourself. What we do, this Wei Yang training style here, is to help you unleash your potential more and more and more and more. Okay? That's our spirit of Chan. To push yourself. Don't settle and say, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Okay? Just incrementally, more and more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's how you push yourself. How you increase your potential. All right? Okay, final question. No mas? No more? Yes, Daniel. Who doesn't listen to me?
I have a quick question, sir. My question is, why is the ghost fear the hands and eyes?
What?
Why the ghosts are afraid of the hands and eyes sutra?
Sutra? There's no hands and eyes sutra. When you ask a question, ask the right question. You ask the wrong question, I'll give you the wrong answer.
Mantra, I meant, sorry.
Why are they afraid of the hands and eyes sutra?
No, mantra. The hands and eyes mantra.
Why do you want to know?
I'm very
curious. Are you a ghost?
No.
You want to be a ghost?
No.
If you don't want to be a ghost, then why do you want to find out? None of your business. Anyone who is a ghost? Okay. Why are they afraid? They're afraid because being ghosts, they're afraid because they've been bitten. They couldn't win, that's why they're afraid. They could get hurt, that's why they're afraid. Why are you afraid? It's because you're afraid to get hurt. You know you can't win, that's why you're afraid. Yes? You must think about it. And that's why, going back to that point, that's why they will do they come and disrupt you to make sure that you cannot complete your practice, so that once you get to a certain level, you can hurt them. That's why they have to stop you first. The demons have to come and stop you. Okay? And that's why you need our protection. Otherwise, you can't. They will stop you. Just like they stopped Master Shenhua's, those two monks. They give up. They're terrified. Okay? Yes. 6.
Sorry. So if that's the case, if they can get hurt by the hands and eyes mantra, what's the purpose of a Buddhist practice in it if it could hurt them?
We like to hurt people. It's fun. Think about it. Why would you want to hurt people? Because these people are so used to hurting others, they think they can get away with it. So every now and then you should get hurt. So that is, it happened to me too. It's called cause and effect. You hurt people, you'll be hurt. Okay? So we're teaching them a lesson. And that's the nature of the world. There's a lot more going on that you are aware of. We started today when you're not here telling people that we've been helping, quietly helping people here in the U.S., in Taiwan, in Korea, and so forth. Okay? And because of that, there's some results. People don't get infected, they get well, they don't die, and so forth. But that's all we do. Okay? But it's to tell these people that they're not invincible. There are people better than them. Okay, they encroach on our territory. They will be sorry. Okay, so that's just life. All right, any other questions? That's it? No more questions today. Thank you all. I will see you next time.